In between hunting down here at the ranch, we always have work and chores to do, and feeder maintenance and filling feeders is generally a big part of that. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk about the different kinds of feeders, mainly between a broadcast feeder, which we have over there, and then here, a gravity feeder. And I know a lot of people outside of the state of Texas don't utilize feeders like we do. My buddies up in Kentucky, for instance, they just go and they buy 600 pounds of corn and throw it on the ground. And that's, that works for them, but you also run into issues, corn, feed, Big and J, whatever feed you're using, it's feed. It has a shelf life, and when it is exposed to the elements, it will eventually decompose or spoil, especially in hot and humid conditions. So just like your sandwich that you're keeping in the refrigerator, we want to keep everything tight, locked up, away from moisture, nice and dry. Another big thing is when you throw that 600 pounds of corn on the ground, you are inviting a smorgasbord for raccoons, and raccoons will eat you out of house and home. This helps limit the amount that varmints eat out of your pocket. And so on this one, this particular gravity feeder has the option to add the timed version. So this fills up these troughs, and these big long arms, they're going to protect our feed from the weather. We also have a screen here, so if there is rain that comes in, gets inside it, it allows it to dry out. And then we have a baffle system that allows me to control how much I want coming out. This comes into play when it's windy. If you've got if you're at a place where it's really windy, you'll actually lose some. But with this system, it's going to protect from wind and rain more than anything else. So for me, what I use, I feed protein. I put Big and J's BB squared. I use gravity feeders, especially during the spring and the summer. And I want to make sure when a buck comes to that feeder, it's full. And I want them to eat all night long if they want to. I want them to have free choice, and I want them to pack on pounds. The gravity feeders that we have around here, we've got several that are 2,000. We've got a couple of 1,250, and that's so I can fill those up. And then I know during the crucial months in the spring and summer that they're going to have enough nutrition, because a buck has to take care of his body first before he's going to take care of his antlers. At the same time, I want to make sure that we've got enough out here to where our does, when they're pregnant and then when they're lactating, are able to get all the nutrients they can. So I use these more for nutrition. However, in the season, I still have this one going. And I keep a few in certain places where I still want that protein, because when you get to the rut, you'll find that a lot of these deer won't come to corn. If they know that there's a protein source and they only want to take a 2-minute break to eat from chasing does, they're going to go with what gives them the most energy and the biggest bang for their buck, and it's not corn. So in some of those areas, that's why I keep these going. So this is the ASF 600 pound stand and fill. Now this is a broadcast feeder. It is meant to broadcast corn as far as it can. It's got a heavy motor, it runs off of 12 volt, and it's going to shoot corn out. Now if you think about the difference between this and say a cheap tripod feeder that doesn't have much oomph, it's going to spin, it's going to drop all the corn down in one place. So that's going to do, one, you're going to have all your deer stacked up in the same spot, and you're not going to be able to get a clear shot. And two, if all the corn is in one spot, they're going to be able to eat it up faster. So I want to spread corn out, have deer spread out, and then I want it to take them longer to eat it all. This one I love because it's got a cage. It's very varmint resistant. The new version actually has a solid metal plate to keep the raccoons from sticking their hands up. Cows, hogs can all, do whatever they want, rub up against it, but they can't get in there. Back to those tripod feeders, they get and they hammer those legs, and they learn that when they do, corn falls out. Well, they keep doing that until you're renting a new feeder every year because it's been taken down by hogs and or cattle. So let me just hit test real quick here. And I'm gonna get out of the way because this hurts. Just to kind of recap, All Seasons makes all kinds of feeders, whatever you need I mean, they've got something that'll suit your need. I don't think that there's any one feeder type that's better than the other. It just, they have different uses. You know, so we don't really run corn during the off season. We use it strictly as bait. You know, corn is 7% protein. It's basically like a candy bar. So it's for attraction and bait. The other protein, gravity feeders, we're using more as a nutrition for management, putting in protein, you know, Big and J, whatever it is you're going to use to get your deer the best nutrition in the off season.